Another cupcake, another big score, another big win. USC walked away satisfied. They got that win, 59-20, over Clay Helton, his Georgia Southern Eagles. But that doesn't mean that USC didn't play poorly either. Let's talk about that on my instant reaction following USC's big win.
You are Locked On USC, your daily podcast on the USC Trojans, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Fight on, everyone. I'm your host, Mark Hulkin, and thanks for making Locked On USC part of the Locked On Network your first listen every day. Whether you are watching this show on YouTube, wherever you want to download this podcast, this show is always going to be free. This show is always going to appreciate your support. And today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Football season is here. Visit the FanDuel app today and start planning your future bets now. USC's head coach, Lincoln Riley, after the game, he said, look, we played good. We won. We accomplished, the goal. We got our win, 59-20. But he also said, look, the team can't kind of, get lost in the final score. You look up, it's 59-20. You're thinking, look at all those stats that we put up. We did great. No. He said the question should be to the players in the locker room, and please enjoy the win. Did we play our best? And then Coach Riley actually added to that. He's like, take this with you. Defensively, we have to eliminate the penalties. That's number one. So he pointed out the positive. We got the win, but did we play our best? Where could we improve? How do we need to improve? Because don't forget, next game on the road, West Lafayette against Purdue. They're 2-0. Talk about those guys in the third segment of the show. So again, this is just my instant reaction ramble. I'm going to kind of shoot from the hip, everything that just comes at me. I'm not sure what was going on at the line of scrimmage. Now, before I get into that on the defensive side of the ball, I should point out that, and if you listen to this show and you listen carefully, I said there could be a change for this game. Well, Micah Banuelos started at right guard in place of Alani Noah. Alani did not get into the game until the fourth quarter. Not because the game wasn't in hand. This was a disciplinary action. Coach kind of addressed it after the game. So, it's something that we're taking care of between our walls in the locker room, but it wasn't injury related. So I just want everyone to understand that. Alani Noah was not hurt. He was just, it's about accountability, making sure you are where you should be at the proper time and you're doing what's being asked of you. So hopefully message was received, and this will be the last time that, Alani has to deal with that. With that said, as I mentioned, Coach talked about, defensively. When you watched USC's defensive line play, were you satisfied? Did you feel good? I mean, they didn't play bad. They just didn't play, maybe they didn't take that next step that I think everybody was anticipating. They were penalized like crazy. I'm not, like I said, 3 hands to the face, maybe, at least in the game. USC was called for 5 penalties in the first half for 65 yards. For the game, 8 for 93. But it was that first half that really got everybody's attention because it was undisciplined. It was sloppy. And it was allowing Georgia Southern to stay on the field, keep their offense on the field, and maybe look a little bit better than they were. So USC, 8 penalties for the game, 93 yards. I'm okay with the second half numbers, but it was at 5 for 65 in the first half. Conversely, Clay Helton's team, Clay Helton, remember him, USC's former head coach. His guys played discipline, or at least they were only called for 1 penalty. Now, they would have had a couple more at least, but USC's wide receivers were making some crazy catches. And ultimately, they're just, hey, we got to decline the penalty. We're going to take the yardage. So, again, it was kind of sloppy in the first half, especially on defense. Sam Johnson, he punted 3 times in this game. I think it was just 3 times. So, again, USC got the win. Did they look as impressive as they did in week 1 against Missouri State? No. Did they beat a better team than Missouri State? Yes. How much better? I don't know. We'll find out as the season goes along. I can tell you this. Missouri State bounced back. They beat Marshall. So that's a pretty good win, right? Kind of gives a little bit more credibility to USC's out-of-conference resume. We'll see. Again, we'll see how the season progresses. But I looked up at the scoreboard. I was like, oh, look, Missouri State. They shook off 73 points. They got the win. So, again, defense, acceptable. Work to do. Offensively, USC, they put up 755 yards. You heard me correctly. They could have put up 800 easily. 446 of those yards came through the air. 309 yards on the ground. You got to love that number. You have to love that number. You want to run. You want to be a physical team. You want to be what Coach Riley's been talking about. Well, guess what? There you go. If you put up 300 yards on the ground, you're trying to be physical. And when Marvin Powell III comes on for our Monday show where we break down this game in depth, he'll tell you. I mean, he was texting me during the first quarter. USC was playing physical bully ball. I agree with him. I was just a little upset with how sloppy they were playing on defense. But again, I don't want to sound like I'm coming down hard, but I was just anticipating the defensive line taking that next step, looking a little bit more solid. They were a little loose. And I can tell you, the defensive coaches, they weren't happy. After the game, I know one specifically who said he's probably going to be up all night watching the film because he's that ticked off. Let me give you an example of the sloppiness on defense, on the defensive line. USC had their defense was facing a 3rd and 6, and Cam Fountain jumped off sides. So on that and it turned into a free play, but had it not been a free play, the pass fell incomplete. It would have been 4th down, 4th and 6. Well, now it's 3rd and 1. You're thinking, all right, they're going to run the ball to pick up the first down. They didn't. They threw the pass, and it was a touchdown, and it was an easy score. Bishop Fitzgerald was trailing on the play. DeCarlos Nicholson, solid at cornerback. He got an interception. He looks really comfortable this year. Compared to how he looked last year, he was. It seemed like he was always a split second from misdiagnosing or reading the play accurately. His eyes are where they need to be. He's never out of position, and it paid off. He jumped the route. He got the pick. It was a really nice play on his part. So Anthony Lucas, guess what? Did you know going into this game he had not had a sack in his college career? Now he has 2. So good job from Anthony Lucas. Jakeem Stewart, Thanos, he got his feet wet. Nothing out of the ordinary. I think he had 1 tackle for the game. This was his first game in a long time. Remember, he's got 12 games of football under his belt at the high school level. So all of you guys out there who are anticipating superstar out of the box, slow your roll. Let him kind of get up to the speed of the game. I mentioned Bishop Fitzgerald. He gave up that 1 touchdown. He was also involved in the miscommunication. DJ Harvey, again, was involved in this one. That led to another touchdown. They got to get that cleared up. They got to get that cleaned up. Somebody's not diagnosing or someone doesn't understand their assignment on a certain bunch route when wide receivers are lined up at the line of scrimmage. This has happened 2 games in a row now. What else can we talk about? Now, like I said, USC's defense, USC's team as a team, they scored 59 points. A lot of guys got in the game again. A lot of guys played. But, you do that when you're playing teams like Missouri State and Georgia Southern. But you can't have this many missed assignments. And you're going to get that from younger players or, guys who are trying to find their way. As long as you're playing 100 miles per hour, they can correct their assignments that they miss. Just go full speed, run into somebody, that type of thing. Waymon Jordan, dude is so good. He showed off his jump cut skills. Man, he is so good. Oh, Eli Sanders, both of them, they put on a show running the ball. As I mentioned, as a team, USC had over 300 yards on the ground. That's fantastic. Georgia Southern, as a team, Total yards, 377. So it's not like USC's defense sucked. I mean, they still grabbed 4 sacks. I think they had, 8 tackles for loss, maybe 10. They had another couple of quarterback pressures, hurries. They weren't bad. They just weren't what everyone was anticipating, taking that next step. But give credit to Clay Helton's team. They didn't quit. They played hard. They knew they were, coming into a place where, you know what, we're probably not going to get the win, but let's do whatever we can to put a scare into USC. And they did. I wouldn't say they scared. I don't think they scared USC, but they did enough to say, all right, go watch your film. Spend this week getting better because you're hitting the road. You got to go play Purdue. Is Purdue great? No, they're 2-0. They beat the Salukis. Again, we'll talk about that in the third segment. But you know what? USC, they're 2-0 as well. They got the big 73-13 win over Missouri State. And then they follow it up with, 59 points against Georgia Southern. That'll get it done. That will get it done. All right, I've got 2 more segments to go. In the next segment, I'll tell you about my plays and players of the game were. And then as I've mentioned a couple times, what's coming up next? What does USC need to do as they prepare to hit the road for the first time in 2025? It's almost the weekend. Well, actually, the weekend is here. It's almost over, I should say. It's time to look back and crown this week's MVP on who delivered. And it's powered by DoorDash. Just like you can win every Saturday with DoorDash with their streaks, saving more every time you order. These players delivered when it mattered most. Let's break it down for you. In this particular game, let's go with Makai Lemon. He was really, really, really good. He had over 140 yards, and a lot of that came after the catch. 2 touchdowns. Makai Lemon is a superstar. Well, when Makai Lemon is on the field, he's shown what he's capable of doing. And now he's showing us more of what he offers. And just like Makai Lemon delivered for USC, DoorDash delivers for you on your Saturdays. With DoorDash Streaks, you can save every Saturday you order. Stack it up all season, and you could save up to $250, including $100 in DoorDash credits. Order coming up this Saturday. Keep the streak alive. Fuel your game day only with DoorDash. Terms apply. The promo period ends through November 18th. Mazda crafts cars for those who choose to do more than simply move. They follow what moves them every time they drive. And that's what makes Mazda stand out. They go beyond safety, style, and performance to deliver a driving experience that feels alive in every detail. You can feel it the moment you get behind the wheel, the smooth handling, the intuitive controls, and standard all-wheel drive in every crossover SUV. So, whether it's a quick drive to practice or a weekend road trip, Mazda makes even everyday drives feel special. It's the small details that make the big plays, and just like there's more to every player, there's more to a Mazda vehicle. Mazda, move and be moved. All right, so let me give you my player of the game. Pick your poison. Do you want to go with Waymon Jordan? I mean, he finished with 167 yards, 1 touchdown. He did that on 16 carries. That's over 10 yards per touch. He did have a fumble early, but again, he more than overcame that. In fact, on the very next offensive series, I think they handed the ball off to him, 3 times in a row, 4 times in a row. It's like, hey, we got you, Waymon. Don't worry about it. So Waymon is definitely a candidate for a player of the game. Maybe it's Jacoby Lane. Did you see that one-handed catch that he had? I mean, dude makes one-handed catches look easier than two-handed catches. On the game, he had a total of 3 for 91 yards. He had 1 that went for 54 yards. And then, you saw that touchdown. If it's not Jacoby and if it's not Waymon Jordan, what about Makai Lemon? He only had 4 receptions. 158 yards was the exact number. Out of that 158, 115 came after the catch. You got to love these explosive plays. Got to love it. So if it's not him, it's not Waymo, if it's not Jacoby, you want to give it to Jaden Mayava? I mean, he only completed 67% of his passes. He had 4 touchdowns, 412 yards of passing, no interceptions. So, I mean, who are you picking? There are a bunch of guys on defense that deserve some recognition. Eric Gentry, he led the team with 10 tackles, all of them solo. Anthony Lucas, I mentioned him in the previous segment, got his first 2 sacks of his college career. There is no wrong answer. Okay, all those guys can hang a star. But Makai Lemon, literally, he made the Georgia Southern secondary. They look like a bunch of high school JV kids chasing an NFL superstar. And eventually, Makai Lemon will be an NFL superstar. So he earned my player of the game. He was dominant. He was dominant. He's so good. Now, what do you think was the play of the game? For me, it's easy. It's so easy. Every time I watch a replay of that one-handed catch, I mean, he literally had 170 pounds hanging on his left arm. And I still don't know how he got up in the air. He got both feet off the ground, put one hand up, and it's like Velcro. It just snatches it. It stays there. I mean, as good as it looked live, it looks even crazier on replay. And then when you slow it down, you're like, wow. And here's what's remarkable. And I maybe he was talking a little bit, we asked Jacoby, would that be your best one-handed catch ever? He's like, actually, I had one even better than that in high school. So now I got to find that film. I got to find out what was better than what he did Saturday against Georgia Southern, because it was amazing. So player of the game, you got to go with Makai Lemon. Play of the game, you got to go with Jacoby Lane. There's no wrong answer. There really isn't. Who would you have as your player of the game? Do you have a different play of the game? Is it Waymon Jordan diving over the goal line for that touchdown? A lot of good stuff going on in this game. I know we tend to focus on the negative because that's what kind of lingers with us. We want perfection. We shouldn't anticipate perfection, but that's what we want. Okay. You always want guys to have something to work on, to get better at. It keeps you humble. And this was a perfect game to keep the team humble, especially when they're going on the road next week. All right, so I have 3 stars of the game. All right. This one isn't going to a player. This is going to the wide receiver room. Makai, Jacoby, literally anyone who had a chance to make a play made a play. DJ Jordan got in on it. He got a lot of run in the second half. He had some catches. I think he had 3 or 4. Zacharias Williams, he only touched it once. Went for 61 yards. I'm still sure he's kicking himself for not getting to the end zone. He allowed himself to get chased down, but still, it set up another score. And again, while the tight ends have their own category, their own room, Walker Lyons had his best game as a Trojan. 4 catches, 40 yards, I think, and a touchdown. And I think Jacoby Lane was blocking for him to help him get into the end zone. So that wide receiver, anybody who was catching the ball, hang a star. Second one, you got to go with Jaden Mayava, QB1. I mean, again, outside of that one throw where you kind of held your breath, like, don't do that. He was rolling to his left, and then he threw back across his body to his right, or switch it around. Anyways, it was off of his back foot, too. Don't do that. Don't do that. You never throw back across your body, rolling one way, off your back foot, over the middle of the field. It was one of those, okay, incomplete, we're okay. So, again, 16 for 24, 412 yards, 4 touchdowns. It's a good day no matter how you slice it. It really is. And then my third star, it's a tie. you got to go with Waymon Jordan and Anthony Lucas. You got to. I mean, Waymo, he just keeps showing everyone how dangerous he is. He had 2 different jump cuts behind the line of scrimmage, and he plants that foot, and boom, he is gone. He is so good. Eli Sanders, he turns on those jets. He is gone. But yeah, Waymo, and then Anthony Lucas. He had a really good game. Really solid game. 2 sacks. I think he also finished with 4 tackles on the game. He's still working off some of that rust, just getting up to game speed. But I would say he probably played the best of the defensive ends in the game. Between him and Cam and Braylon Shelby. Again, Jakeem Stewart got in there, got a little bit of a taste. Floyd Boucard, he looked great again playing in the middle. I think he had a sack or a TFL. I like his game, like it a lot. So you got those guys. And then I'm going to give you an honorable mention. It's got to go to Eric Gentry. When you get 10 tackles and you're doing all 10 of them by yourself and you're not even playing in the fourth quarter, you had a good game. I think he played 5 minutes in the third quarter, and that was it, pretty much it. But, here's a little note you might like. 2 notes. Those 309 rushing yards for USC, that's the most they've had since Lincoln Riley's been their head coach. And that's the most they've had rushing since they had 249 against Utah State last year. Not bad, right? Not bad at all. King Miller, give him a scholarship already. He had another long touchdown run. This one, 41 yards. By the way, on that, there's a little note here. USC had not had a walk-on score touchdown before this year. So the last time that happened, a walk-on scoring a touchdown, 1994. Now it's happened on back-to-back games. Same player. But that's a little weird. You saw Harry Dalton for the first time, running back. Showed some flashes. Not the first time to see him, but extended action carrying the ball. But yeah, that running back room, I understand why Coach Riley and everybody likes it. They're really good. They're really good. So there you go. Player of the game, plays of the game, stars of the game, all the good stuff that happened right there for you. We've got one more segment to go. Again, we're just kind of instant reaction. Now what are we doing? We got to look forward to their USC's first game on the road. They take on Purdue. They're also 2-0. Let's talk about that next. Hey, Locked On USC fans, are you still paying full price for gas? Shame on you. Stop leaving money behind. Get real cash back every time you fill up with the free Upside app. Simply download the free Upside app in the App Store or Google Play. Do it right now, and then you can start earning cash at the pump today. Go use my limited time promo code FOOTBALL, and you're going to get an extra 25 cents back per gallon on your first fill up. You can make up to $300 in a year just from buying the gas you know you already need. At first I thought, you know what, Mark, this is too good to be true, but it's not. It's totally legit. Real people are getting paid just to make their daily commutes. You can do it too. Plus, you can cash out at any time to your bank account. Put in your PayPal. Get one of those e-gift cards from Amazon or any of the other major brands. Don't let this offer drive on by. Download the free Upside app now using my limited time promo code FOOTBALL, and for a limited time, 25 cents per gallon bonus. That's promo code FOOTBALL. Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions. The NFL season is it's here, right? I mean, game to finish their first week. FanDuel's making sure you're ready for a kickoff that you can't miss. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you're going to get $300 in bonus bets. And you can use that across the app. You're going to love using FanDuel because it's however you like to bet. Player prop bets, building a same-game parlay. Maybe you want to jump in live as the action's unfolding. Guess what? FanDuel allows you to do that. So are you ready to play? Download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com to place your first $5 bet. All right, so Thanos, he got his feet wet. Nothing spectacular. He was running around out there looking like he's played football before. Now he gets to take that to the practice field, get himself ready to go on the road. USC's playing Purdue. Both teams, they're 2-0. We anticipated USC being 2-0. Purdue probably should have opened the season 2-0 as well. I think they opened up with Ball State. They got that win. They just took on FCS Southern Illinois, the Salukis. They beat them 34-17. Okay. Are you nervous, Trojan fans, for this first game on the road? Thinking, oh, all of a sudden Purdue's 2-0. Well, let me maybe calm some of your fears. Now, Southern Illinois, they actually came out. They put up 2 touchdown drives. First 2 drives. Yeah. They were moving the ball up and down the field. And then Purdue made an adjustment, and it was all boiler up. Final score, 34-17. So on Southern Illinois' first 2 drives, they put up 150 yards of offense. 2 75-yard drives. That's pretty impressive, especially on the road. But by the end of the first half, they had a total of 217 yards. And then Purdue's defense really stiffened up. They held Southern Illinois to just 66 yards of offense in the second half. And 32 of those yards happened on the final possession of the game. The outcome was already decided. So you had a lot of their backups in. Final score, 34-17. So question, USC fans, are you concerned? I mean, if you watch the Big Ten Squad show, I did that crossover show with Nick, the host of Locked On Boilermakers. He's already called his shot. He said Purdue's going to get the upset. Do you agree with him? I don't. And we're going to be doing another show together this week, so look for it on the Locked On Network here on Locked On USC. I don't see it happening. Yeah, I'm sure it's probably going to be a close game. I think it'll be a lot closer than USC's first 2 games. But I don't think Purdue has enough offense to stay with USC. That's the bottom line. So I guess it might come down to whose defense plays the best, right? Right? I think USC still has a better defense. So I don't know how it's going to play out. We'll talk about it more throughout the week. Again, I'm going to have Marvin Powell III on. We're going to break down this game even more. And then if we have time, we'll look ahead to Purdue. But we're going to make that a regular feature every Monday episode. Marvin's going to join the show. We're going to talk about the previous weekend's game. Give you everything you want. So this is the instant reaction. USC got the win, 59-20. Did what they needed to do. And now they head off to Purdue. Take on the Boilermakers for 2-0, which, by the way, Barry Odom, their new head coach, he's their first coach in 109 years to start his tenure winning their first 2 games. Maybe they got something special brewing down there. I don't know. I doubt it. We'll see soon enough. All right, everyone. That's it for this instant reaction show. USC got the win, 59-20 over Clay Helton, the Georgia Southern Eagles. Thanks again for making Locked On USC your first listen every day. If you stayed up late to watch this, thanks again. Let's keep that subscriber number going up. We got to keep that thing going. If you haven't subscribed yet, click that red subscribe button. Smash that thumbs up. Keep dropping those comments and click that bell notification. That way you're not going to miss another episode. So until that next one, which will be tomorrow, everyone, you know what to do. And don't forget, get on over there to weareSC.com. So much good stuff, so much content. You're not going to want to miss it.